Coming in video on this might have been a bad idea for me because, like I said, I'm selling. Well, I have somebody coming to look at my Cadillac tomorrow, and it's gonna be bad. There's some Evo 5s for sale, not that far from here right now.
There's one in Ohio right now, like in Cincinnati area right now for like an Evo 5 for around
32?
low 30s. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, there's one in North Carolina. It's a little more.
Yeah,
For like 36.
that's a little high, but yeah.
But yeah. Sarah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
All right, so tell me about your Evo 8 here.
So this is a 2004 Evo 8. It actually has a Evo 9 interior, so it's got the, I think they're the SSL seats. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that.
What was the SSL? What did that stand for again? Sunroof?
Sights, sunroof. It's like a lighting,
leather
maybe, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
I could be wrong. It might be the MR seats. I'm not really 100% sure. They came with the car when I bought it. So this car actually has a built 2-liter. I actually blew up this car probably 3 months ago.
Insert clip here.
I just blew up my car. Yeah, so I mean, I blew up this car. It was making around like probably close to 600 when I blew it up, shot a rod out the front of the block. I ended up buying a used motor from someone, and it was a low mile used motor. It only had a couple passes on it. So it's a built 2-liter. It's got S3 cams, 10-to-1 compression. This car has it has an AGT 5762 turbo that I'm still kind of in the tuning process. It's actually going to my tuner probably in the next week or two, because there's a couple of things that need to be wrapped up on it. And then he's gonna put on the dyno and really turn it up. We've only done some street tuning so far, but it's right now as is. It probably makes around 600 wheel just from street tuning and based on the boost pressure and kind of the fuel usage so far. It's on E85. I think this turbo will probably max out around 650, 700 is my guess. Let's see here. This car is kind of low mileage for an Evo, I would say. It's around 80,000 miles total. It actually has like I said, it has an Evo 9 interior. It also has a painted pillars. The roof or trim up here has been all painted, which is kind of cool. I mean, when I bought this car, that was kind of like a motivating factor, because I just love like kind of the way that looks, and I know the effort that goes into that. But this is, in my opinion, this is just like one of the nicer Evo 8s that you can find. So I used to have an Evo 9 that made almost 1,000 wheel. It was a sequential car, but it was kind of a crappy car. Like it was kind of rusty. It was half gutted, and I sold that car and bought this because I just wanted a nice Evo. Like I just wanted, I was kind of getting out of the whole street racing thing. Like I still like to like rip my car and go fast and give ride-alongs, but like I just wanted a nice car to drive, a nice Evo to drive, and that was kind of the motivating factor to buy this car. It is also on an M-Tron standalone, which is kind of a theme in my life. It is on drive-by-wire. It uses I think it actually uses a Bosch throttle body with a Evo 10 pedal. The wheels are Volk CE28s. It's kind of dirty right now. Like I said, this car hasn't really been out in a while. It does have a upgraded Shep transmission. It's got their ultimate ratio transmission, which I think it's like an Evo 9 first gear, an Evo 8 second through fourth gear or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I had my 9 and it had a 70-76 front mount.
Yeah.
But it was Evo 9 MR.
Mm-hmm.
So
six speed. Yep. This is actually a 5-speed. It has the MR interior, but it has the 5-speed transmission.
So I worked at APR at the time when I had it, which is sort of funny because Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I think 3 of the 4 engine calibrators, whenever I was there, were all big Evo guys,
Okay.
like big Evo tuning
Yeah.
guys. Um, so I was fortunate in that because we threw it on the hub dyno, and I had 2 really good Evo
Yeah.
tuners work
Yeah.
on it. But with that 6-speed, we had to keep the torque
Right.
down.
And you're just kind of ramping in or something.
If I can find it, I'll put the dyno graph like here somewhere,
Hmm.
and it made we kept it at 350 torque, but it made like 640 to the
Oh yeah.
horsepower.
Yeah.
Um,
But that was just like, eh.
oh yeah, no, it had nothing before like between like 3,000 and
Yeah.
4,000. It went from like, or I guess from like, yeah, right around 3,035, it went from like 200 to 400, and then from like on up, it went just straight up to around 600. So, but yeah, they they wanted me to do a Shep 5-speed
Hmm.
and E85 it because
Yeah.
they were like, this is a 850 to the wheel all day.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I had to sell that car. So I had a feeling I was going to be let go, and I sold the car for. You talked about how this one's low mileage. I think that car was in the
Oh
40,000
wow.
miles. Like
Yeah.
it had a built English Racing 2-liter,
Yeah.
forward facing 7076. Like it needed a transmission because it's 6-speed. It still,
Yeah.
everything was fine with
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I had a feeling that I was the odd man out with our new manager,
Mm,
and sure enough, about a month later, I got laid off. So
yeah.
luckily, I sold it, but man, I do miss that car. It was silver, good looking car, but trying to get a little more.
So for mods, like I said, this car's on a AGT 5762 turbo. It uses an ETS, kind of like the stock placement V-band turbo kit. It has, I mean, it's pretty basic parts. You know, it's got like a RK titanium exhaust. The engine package has S3 cams. I believe it's still a stock crank 2-liter. Um, pretty, you know, normal stuff in the Evo world. Like I said, Shep Trans, has Shep T case. I think the rear end is still stock. Now this being an Evo 8, it does have the Evo 9 MyVec motor, so it does have MyVec. It actually has ACD as well, which Evo 8s typically didn't come with. Because whoever owned this car, I guess 2 owners ago, this car was actually a shell, and they had a wrecked Evo 9 that they just swapped everything into. So that's kind of where the interior came from. That's where the drive line came from. Car up a couple months ago. It was running fine. Like when it was tuned, it made, what did it make, like 480 wheel on a Mustang dyno at 28 psi. At that time, it was just a stock bottom end Evo 9 motor with the built head. It had a stock frame 57 mil turbo on it, and it was running fine. And I ended up getting a little greedy, and I turned it up a little bit more on the street, and it just, I guess the rod it was just too much for the stock rods. I actually can show you. I actually have the stock
Oh
rod.
yeah.
I have a whole Evo blown motor collection over here. You know, watch out for the oil. This car's leaking. Evo stuff. So right here's my, I guess, my Evo graveyard collection. So this is a 4B11 stock rod. So I had an Evo 10 for almost 10 years, and that was the first motor I blew up. I think that was in 2017. And this is a built 4B11 motor. So that same car, I ended up blowing up the built motor. I think this was probably 3 years ago. And then the red Evo 8, here is the stock, it's actually an Evo 9 motor, stock rod from it. So, I don't know. I mean, I have kind of bad luck with Evos, but I can't stay away from them.
I feel like it's been a while since I've been in the Evo world, but I feel like that was one of the things that like made me sell it when I did, because I had a feeling I was going to lose my job, which I did, but still the payment wasn't that crazy because I got a really good deal on it. It was actually whenever I started working at APR, my boss I saw it in the parking lot. The first day I showed up, I asked him, whose Evo 9 is that? Because I was actually, I don't know, I can't remember his name. I moved to Alabama, and right before we moved, I was trying to buy an Evo 9 actually right behind Toyota over
Okay.
there. I can't remember who had that car. But it was like a, was it FP green?
Yeah.
That was on it, I believe. And I tried to buy it, and the guy that had it ended up selling it to the guy he bought it from.
Mm.
So I was like, well, I was out of luck. Skip ahead like a year, I'm starting to work at APR. I'm living in Alabama, Auburn, Alabama. And the first day I show up, ask the boss whose Evo 9 is at in the parking lot, and it was his.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you want to buy it? And I was like, well, actually, maybe. So it was a long project. It had been sitting at APR's second parking lot for a while. And, but it was, like I said, it was a 2-liter English Racing, fully
Mm-hmm.
built engine. And I was just, I have some buddies that are Evo guys, and just seeing
Yeah.
the breakdown after breakdown, and
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, you know, you got to pay to play, and
It's hard to just these cars just like feel like nothing else, and it's hard to stay away from them. I mean, I've had some friends that leave the Evo world because of this problem, but then a lot of them just come back.
I do miss mine.
Yeah.
So, and but in all of that, luckily, I can't remember what cams that it had in it, but apparently the cams that were in the engine had a bad run.
Mm.
And I think the guy messaged me. I messaged the guy like 3 months later, just touching base, asking him how the car was doing, because I was missing it.
Yeah.
And he had the engine out of it because it had one of the cams had snapped in half.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
been been a bunch of rods.
That was a really big problem
valves.
with Cosworth cams, I think.
I think it might have had Cosworth
Yeah,
cams
that was a big problem with Cosworth back in the day.
But
I mean, I think once you kind of get these cars figured out, and you have really good tuning, you have a good ECU, you run good fuel, like they can last. But Evo things happen, you know. That's just part of it.
That'd be a good shirt. Evo things happen.
And like you can do everything that you're supposed to in the world, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're also, I mean, people that are, building these cars are putting a lot of air through a 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
and
2 liters.
And yeah, and the engines were made for 4 cylinders. The drivetrain was all made for a 4-cylinder. Like,
how much power did you say this one made roughly?
so we haven't finished tuning yet. It's going to go to my tuner in a week or two, and then there's a couple of things that he needs to do to it, and then he's going to put on the dyno. Right now on the street, it's probably around 600 wheel, just kind of based on the fuel usage.
So a boosted 2-liter is 600 wheel. A boosted 6.2 liter V8 is 500 wheel.
Yeah. And this is probably like the 3rd fastest Evo I've had. It'll probably make closer to 7 once it gets turned up, because it's only on like high 20 pounds right now. This car to me is just kind of a cruiser car, because I mean, it's in really good shape. Like I'm not going to take this on back roads and rip it on Tell the Dragon and stuff. Or the 6, I don't care as much.
Did you take the 6 on, what was the Evo Day?
Yeah, Evo Day, yeah, Tell the
Evo
Dragon.
Day, yeah.
It was raining, but it was still a blast.